we have a concert tonight, a free concert. Elvis Jr. here. Elvis's grandfather. So I'm Elvis's older brother here working in convenience. Keith has been writing for a number of years now. You've heard him many times. Several times. With his music. And most of you have stuck in your mind if you heard it. The Little Man song about his grandson, which grabbed all of our hearts. Has got his first CD of all his music, and at 6 o'clock tonight. Last week I introduced Carmen. This week I'm going to introduce Keith. Keith is cheaper. Keith is cheaper. By the way, just so you get a church report on Carmen, I told you last week that with the way the arrangements are made, the $15, Carmen wants to bless the local church. So when he comes to a local church, you split the cost of those tickets, and the church would keep $7.50 of each one of those tickets. And we sold a couple of hundred of those tickets. That when I may be in trouble with this next week, but I don't think so. I don't think that's where our heart is. We sat down after the concert and realized how God had blessed us. And so we just sent all the money to Carmen World Ministries. I mean, we just took, we'd already set a deposit. We took that out. And our the $300 for radio expenses and stuff, and then all the rest of it we could have split the ticket money then, and instead we just sent it because we didn't really do it we didn't do it to make $1,500 or $2,000, so why we did it. And I thought, well, now the only expense here, I might end up having to explain how to the church, well, we boy, I hope Carmen didn't eat too much because I put it on my debit card to guarantee it at the hotel. Well, then I got a letter. The hotel room was only $82 at Holiday Inn East. I don't know how the church over there, the Big Creek Christian Church, got that deal. And then they forgot to bill us. They billed the other church. But the other church did send me a letter. So, so we ended up having Carmen here and having a wonderful concert and having a wonderful altar call. We had it for $82. Tonight we're going to have Keith. We're not paying him a dime. This time. No, you get famous, you send it back. That's how that works. Okay, that's happening. All the other stuff. Read your bulletin. The bulletins, if you didn't get one, they're on the back table back there. Be sure you get one because we got more stuff going on. We just added this morning the next blood drive in August. That poster went up this morning, just slightly to the southeast poster for tonight. And so just new stuff happening all the time. The big deal coming up is VBS. We've got stacks of invitations. We would like to see you take a Saturday afternoon when all of those kids are around the neighborhood and go around and hand one out to every kid in your whole neighborhood and just invite them to make it. Would you like them all to come to the Bible school?
Sure would.
So if that would be, you can take a handful of those, and I especially encourage you to hand those invitations to the kids who really annoy you. I'm serious. I'm pretty sure, having looked in the mirror, that I annoyed a few people when I was a kid. Now, certainly not now when I'm so low. But somebody invited me to church. Somebody invited me to church. So, brand new neighborhood. Oh, Pastor, I couldn't do that. Why not? Why not? Invite them all. Invite them all. We want them all. Yes.
Speaking of
Loudly.
the on-risk in the neighborhood, yeah, well, we had two little boys here for a while, but when they first came, they were not happy here. You could tell it on their face. But after 2 months,
We have
things
seen.
have changed in their lives.
We have seen so many kids change. It just, some of these kids are going through some stuff, man. They're going through some stuff. And, man, it's a horrible thing for a kid to think even his parents don't love him. And then to find out that God does. So we have a little video here. For other people, it's just against the law. For you, it's a sin. We keep the law. We stand for the right. We mess up. Well, okay, I mess up. If you don't. We're still going to take our best shot at it. So, don't be dumb. And maybe more often we ought to understand that as believers, the requirements for us are big. Salvation is free, but it's not cheap. So, we're supposed to be a different people. So, okay, that's enough about that. Oh. Okay, that's a smart thing. There was a commercial on saying cars could be so hot under those catalytic converters, they'd park over some deep grass, you could start a fire and burn your car up, but I don't think most of us would, Although I do know a farmer in Colorado he was too cheap to buy a block heater for his tractor, so he kept a little fire burning under it at night, and finally set the fire and burned the tractor up, but that's another story. I think we should pray. There are people who are losing their livelihoods right now because of this. Every day is, most folks think food comes from a grocery store. I heard somebody say they wouldn't eat brown eggs. They wanted those store-bought factory eggs. Because they didn't want a brown egg, they didn't want anything that came out of that end of the chicken. And they somehow thought that the white ones didn't come out of that end of the chicken. Yeah, I know it sounds foolish. I know people who wouldn't ever consider drinking anything but, quote, factory milk. Because they can't imagine where that other milk, they can't imagine where that milk comes from. And that didn't sound appealing to them. Every day now, the yield for our farmers is being taken away.
Amen.
And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. When you start talking about losing, we're losing this, we're losing 10%, we're losing 20%. If you equate that into any business, you don't survive that way. So I think we should pray. Father, I can't help but think about Elijah. When he sent word to Ahab and said, it'll only rain when I say so. God sent me to tell you that there's going to be this drought. But when I come and tell you, the drought has stopped. And so, on that day when it finally rained, there weren't any great signs that it was going to rain. It said a cloud the size of a man's hand. But in faith, you came down off the mountain and you told them to go to shelter because you heard the sound of an abundance of rain. And Lord, it's dry enough now. We're not even going to say, we want to rain and we want it to come in a specific way. Lord, we just ask for your rain. We have friends who are hurting. We have families who are hurting. It isn't just that they're losing money. Their whole lifestyle is going to be affected. Their businesses will be lost. Lord, send the rain. Please. Please. Money. Keep your lives free. We've already taken the offering. This doesn't have to scare you. Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. Teaching them to obey. This is Matthew 28. We're going to skip around a few times here. And teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you, and surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. And in the Psalms, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 139:1. O Lord, you have searched me, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive, you see my thoughts from afar off. You discern my going out, my lying down. You're familiar with all of my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. You hem me in, behind and before. You have laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to understand, to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you're there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. Remember that line. Even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to God. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I got to confess, I haven't looked in the mirror lately and said that about myself. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in a secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body, and all the days ordained for me were written in your book before even one of them came to be. Who shall separate us in Romans from the love of Christ? Shall trouble or hardship or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? As it is written, for your sake we face death all day long. We are considered as sheep to be slaughtered. But in all these things, we're more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor demons, nor the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus. Never alone. There's an old gospel song. No, never alone. No, never alone. He's promised never to leave me. Never to leave me alone. Good old gospel song. The problem is, we believe that stuff when somebody asks us if we believe it. We're sitting in church. It's good surroundings, don't you think? A nice healing relationship here. good feeling, right? You with me? Come on. All right. I'm going to have to take something off and yell at you now. Come on. Too much reading, you fell asleep. We actually do believe. Do you believe God loves you?
Yes.
Do you believe He's here with you now?
Yes.
Now see, you just answered that. And I hope that that's true at this very moment. But I wonder what you're going to feel when somebody asks you that tomorrow. Or the day after. Or the morning that you get up and you have a flat tire. Or the morning that you get up and everything that yesterday we went up to visit the Amish and we were just with some friends and I was driving and I had my coffee mug there and I'm drinking and it gotten to the place where the coffee was cold, but I didn't want that any longer. But I had a nice soda pop back here in the ice chest cool. And so I wanted a spot to put my soda pop, so I rolled the window down on the car and I went to empty the coffee out and into the cup in my truck. I'm up higher, no problem. In the car, oh no, that doesn't hit the thing, and of course it's the door's fault, it's the coffee cup's fault. and coffee went all over me, all over the door of the car. We got like 3 little bitty baby munchkin napkins, and I'm trying to mop all this stuff up, and I go, my head's about to explode. And I got up and I looked at the cup and I thought, I'm going to stomp this cup to pieces. And, you know, that sort of thing has a way, it can ruin your whole day. It can ruin your whole day. You know, the same friends are over for supper last night. One of them reached for something on the coffee table and knocked it over and spilled it. And then, toward this morning, I got up and I keep something because my throat gets dry at night. I keep something sitting by the clock, and I reached for it this morning and knocked it all over my end table. I just got the spillsies. Now those are minor things. Big stuff comes along too. I have a poem that I read at funerals, and this is not one, so I didn't bring the thing to read. But it says, when trouble comes, and come it must, in God a man must put his trust. Now, there are a lot of preachers and teachers over the years who have somehow tried to let people believe, or help them believe, or allow them to believe maybe, that just because you become a Christian, that junk doesn't happen. I'm here to tell you, your trunks are full of junk. Junk. Did you listen to any of the scripture as we were reading it? Sheep to be slaughtered, trouble, persecution, nakedness, sword, trouble today, trouble tomorrow, all of that stuff. It still makes every one of those verses had something in common, and we'll get that in a minute. And I don't want to depress you terribly here this morning, but I want to tell you that if you haven't had trouble yet, it's coming for you. And you have to decide how you're going to handle that and how you're going to deal with that, because it's coming for you. When my kid says, Dad, you're getting old, I say, it's coming for you. Say, somebody says, some younger person says, and I get one of those mornings when the bones aren't working and replace me isn't what it ought to be, and I'm limping around, and they'll say, you look a little stiff this one. I say, it's coming for you. It's coming for you. Say, hey, your hair turned white, preacher. It's coming for you. It'll either turn white or it'll wave goodbye. It's coming for you. Now, you can be one of those people who every time something happens, it's the worst thing that ever happened to you. Every day, it's the worst day I've ever had. I think, you crybaby. This is a terrible illustration to use on a Sunday morning. But I'm going to do it anyway. I wandered over through the youth center one time. Precious lady that runs the Weight Watcher thing here. And she's a neat lady. If you haven't met her, she's a cool lady. But apparently we had a stool over there that was plugged up. And she said, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. And I think, if a plugged up stool is the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, honey, you have had a good life. But I hear people say that all the time. You know, the worst thing that's a summer cold is the worst thing that there is. Oh no, I don't think so. I can think of a list of stuff. Come it must. And then the enemy comes and he tells you a lie. And this is the lie. Nobody has ever had it as bad as you. Nobody has ever suffered, and nobody has had parents as bad as your parents. Nobody ever had a sore throat as bad as your sore throat. It's the worst sore throat in the world. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, you with me? You're just been forsaken. And he tells us that stuff. And tragically, we want to believe him. You know what? When I mash my finger with a hammer, and I want you to look, I have mashed them all. I could break an anvil, and I'm the anvil against which I throw things. My son rode his motorcycle down from Kansas City last week. Do you know how hot it was last Sunday afternoon? It was hot. So really smart people fire up great big motorcycle internal combustion engines and then sit on them when it's 107 degrees. And I hurt my ankle again. The same ankle, same spot, same motorcycle. And I want you to know it hurt. Same response, too. I'm at Arrow Rock. I have no ice. I have nothing to put on it. I could just, Dad, maybe we'll on there. Now, I'm Dad. Now, it's different. Now, if it's somebody else, I could cry a little bit. Maybe just a little, you know. It hurts. But it's your son, and I'm me. So instead of, I got battle up for my hustlers. When I get hurt, it's personal. When I get hurt spiritually, it's personal. When somebody hurts my feelings, insults me in some way, it's personal. And Pastor Malcolm stand up in front of all the people and do the I'm cool in church thing, but when somebody hurts me, I'm not going to share it with everybody, but I can really kick it around in the dark. Nobody lift your hand, but how many of you here have been insulted? Don't lift your hand. How many here have been insulted or hurt by stupid stuff said on Facebook? Don't lift your hand. Oh, sorry. But I'm telling you, when it's personal and it hurts you, and you know, you got it happens. It's happened in 100,000 ways. And then there's the physical, the spiritual. You know, you fall flat on your face, and the devil says, "You're alone." And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you can become so bitter and angry that you make yourself alone. away those who love you? Or like Elijah, run off and hide? People have done that with church for years. Somebody says something stupid in church, and all of a sudden, 40 years later, you're saying to this person, why don't you come to church? And they say, I remember when somebody in church said such and such. And you're looking for love in all the wrong places. Listening for signs and wonders and loud noises. And then just like Elijah, you find out that God has been talking all along. And you're just listening to the noise. The truth. Here's the truth. People think they like to hear the truth until they hear the truth. God never left you. They left you. Said never. God never ever left you. I will never leave you or forsake you. If He broke that promise, then all of His promises are a lie. You can't trust Him. Your problems, are you listening to the truth that you thought you wanted? Your problems, though hard for you, are not unique, and God is not overwhelmed. They're only unique in the sense that when it's me, it's personal, but God's not overwhelmed. He never was, and He never will be. Here, you want another great truth?
Yeah.
Pain sucks. There's a spiritual truth for you. Whether it's spiritual, emotional, or physical, pain sucks. But you're going to have some anyway. And it is not a sign, are you listening to me? It is not a sign that God has left you. It is not a sign that God has left you just because it got tough. Still sucks. Just not a sign that God left you. You want some more truth?
Yeah.
Not just God, but others will come and stand beside you. You have a church family. They'll come stand beside you. We committed ourselves to that. Donna was about to have a stroke last week, having a special thing for her daughter, and invited everybody in the world to dinner. And some of them showed up. And people came and stood by her and made sure it happened. Because that's who we have committed ourselves to be. And here's the last one. You want some more truth?
Yes.
There's an honest voice. Listen to me. You're not seeing things very clearly when you're hurting. You're not seeing things very clearly when you're hurting. When your life's tore up, you're hurting emotionally, you're hurting physically, been there, done that. You're not seeing things very clearly. And you desperately need to be able to trust God to bring somebody to stand along beside you and help you see things differently. Because you've already begun to believe the lie of the enemy that says you're never going to get out of this problem, you're all alone, and there's nobody like me. Nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm going to weeds and worms. And you fulfill that prophecy yourself by believing that. So we have committed ourselves. Some of us are just a little independent. My therapist, not for my head, but for my knee. I might need one for my head, but this was for my knee. Said, "You're not stubborn, you're just independent. I don't know what the difference is." But there's some stuff that comes along in life when you need to have somebody help you see clearly. When I need somebody to help me see clearly. And if I listen to the voice of God, He'll say, "I'm here." And I'll send somebody to help me. I don't think it's an accident that Elijah had Elisha. I don't think it's an accident that over all of those scriptures, the common theme is God saying, when you're going through tough stuff, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave. You can trust that, Heavenly Father. Thank you for finding us in our dark places and in our hurt times. For finding us when we believe the lie of the enemy that says it's worse for us than for anybody. That we are all alone, that nobody understands. And you come along and you say, "Well, I do understand. And I'll bring somebody to you if you will let me understand and help you find your way out of this." It's called faith. It's called trust. And I need to give myself to that. So I want you to pray with me this prayer. We're going to take communion together. Pray this prayer. Heavenly Father, I choose to trust you with everything in my life, including the hard times. When things get tough, I'll look for you. I'll stop complaining, and I'll start praising. I forgot something. Or sit right down here on the front row. When my two little illustrated circles should come up here, please. I wanted you to listen to a conversation, a prayer, if you will, with God. Okay? I think He's come up here. And God in His heavens. I need something.
Sure.
Sorry.
Scott, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Promise you won't get mad.
I promise.
Why did you let so much stuff happen to me today?
What do you mean?
Well, I woke up late.
Yeah.
My car took forever to start.
Okay.
At lunch, they made my sandwich wrong, and I had to wait.
Hmm.
On the way home, my phone went dead just as I picked up a call.
All right.
And on top of all of that, when I got home, I just wanted to soak my feet in my new foot massager and relax, but it wouldn't work. Nothing went right today. Why did you do that?
Let me see. The death angel was at your bed this morning, and I had to send one of the other angels battling for your life. I let you sleep through that.
Cool.
I didn't let your car start because there was a drunk driver on your route that would have hit you if you were on the road. The first person who made your sandwich today was sick, and I didn't want you to catch what they had. I knew you couldn't afford to miss work.
Okay.
Your phone went dead because the person that was calling was going to give a false witness about what you said on that call. I didn't even let you talk to them. You would have covered.
I see.
And that foot massager. It had a shortage that was going to throw out all the power in your house tonight. I didn't think you wanted to be in the dark, did you?
I'm sorry, God.
Don't be sorry. Just learn to trust me. In all things, the good and the bad.
I will trust you.
And don't doubt that my plan for your day is always better than your plan.
I won't. And let me just tell you, God, thank you for everything today.
You're welcome, child. It's just another day.